Hello, welcome to episode 102 of Your Ultimate Comeback.
I like the sound of it.
Broke the 100 mark.
Yes.
Rolling forward. It's like starting over. It's easy for me to remember.
Yeah. Right.
I'm your host, Brad. I'm here with Raquel.
Yep.
Today we thought we would talk a little bit about a topic that came up, raising resilient children.
Yep.
And I guess we can kind of share some of our ideas around that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping some of my ideas are working.
Right. Yeah. Because honestly, we don't get the handbook.
Yeah, God, no. There is no handbook at all.
Yeah. It's trial by fire.
Yeah. But before we get into that, I just had an idea. I'm getting ready. After this, I have a speaking engagement that I'm doing. And so I've been kind of putting that together, and I came across a really interesting study.
Yes.
It was about hydration.
Oh.
And how dehydration affects the brain.
Oh.
I thought this would be an interesting one to share because this is something that I always talk about, especially in speaking engagements, but I was just trying to update my slides and my ideas, and I came across a study that was done, and it showed on MRIs that even being 2% dehydrated causes your brain to shrink for a short period of time.
Wow. As
much as like aging a year.
What?
That was pretty crazy. And then also within that study, they found that when someone was dehydrated, they had 20% slower reaction time, and they made twice as many mistakes as someone who was fully hydrated.
Wow.
So I just thought that was really interesting because I'm about to talk to a group of CEOs up in the Silicon Valley area, and I thought that was really like interesting.
That is crazy.
And I've always known that just a small dehydration percentage, like 1% dehydration can affect your strength by 10%. Yeah, so it's if you're someone who uses your brain and needs to be really dialed in, which is most of us.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Hydration is very important for that.
Yeah. I think people definitely don't put the emphasis on that, the importance. It's the coffee. They have plenty of coffee. They have plenty of energy drinks probably, but they probably don't focus on that.
Yeah, it's hard. It can be hard to do.
Yeah.
It's I don't know why. Even I struggle with it.
Yeah.
Like today, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know I went a few hours without drinking water. Our bathroom was down at the gym. I had clients from 6:45 to 12:45 straight and no bathroom.
Oh.
So I did not drink as much water as I typically do because I was like, oh my gosh, I have no break. No, I can't run away somewhere to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. That's wild.
Times.
You know what's weird though is when we were growing up and when we were, I don't know, young adults, no one talked about drinking water.
No, never.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Yeah. I was just talking to another client of mine as athletes when we were younger. I mean, when I was young, like athletes weren't supposed to work out. Like it was bad for you as an athlete to work out. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember when we went to Nautilus and that was what we started doing in college. I'm like, which is not good for you as an athlete either. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
So I explained to him why. And then it went from there to like, now all of a sudden start training and it's overkill. And so people are grinding themselves into the ground. That was a big period of time. And so now athletes have a lot better information on methodologies of training, recovery, nutrition, sleep, all the things.
Right.
And we're seeing such a positive output for them.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think there's better athletes today than there were 30 years ago. I just think that they are better trained, better recovered. They're taken better care of than they were 30 years ago.
Yeah, hopefully.
I think you take athletes from 30 years ago and give them all the training, the nutrition that the kids are now being brought up on, I think you would see better athletes back then.
Yeah.
So,
well, we've talked about the fact before that no one had the hitting coach or the the footwork coach right when we were kids that was not a thing.
Yeah,
you just raw dogged it.
Yeah, it was whoever the dad was that was coaching, and that's what you learned.
Exactly.
And when you get into school, it was whatever coach you were given for that sport. That's who you learned from.
Yep. And now it almost seems like you have to do that stuff if you want to stand out.
Oh, 100% you do. Yeah.
And there were no club teams, and maybe there were some, but not the way it is now.
I've had people ask me, like, why do you spend so much money on, like, trainings for your kids and stuff like that? I'm like, well, when I was a kid, we were outside running around and running amok, like, I'm just moving like crazy. My kids don't have the opportunity to do that anymore.
No.
And so I'm like, look, this is their outdoor activity. It's just a specialized realm of some specific training they're doing. But I like that my kids would rather go do a training than sit at home watching YouTube or playing video games. So I support that.
Yeah.
But I'll reference that I never force my kids to go.
That's good.
Like they always have the option to go.
Yeah.
95% of the time they choose to go.
Right.
If there's a time like I don't really feel like it, I don't argue it. I've always just kind of told them, like, you got to want it more than I want it for you. I don't really care what you do.
Right.
Whatever you decide to do, I'm going to support fully. And my son challenged that probably 2 months ago. He's like, Dad, what would you tell me if I told you I wanted to quit football? I'm like, great. You just got to finish this season off because you committed to it, and then it's done.
Yep.
I said, but then you got to find something else you want to do. He's like, well, but football is your favorite sport. I'm like, well, yeah, it was my favorite thing. Mm-hmm. If it's not your favorite thing, go find your favorite thing.
That's okay.
I go, if you choose to quit and you want to go learn chess,
right?
You're going to see me go all in on chess.
Right.
Like, I don't care what you do, but whatever you do, I'm going to fully support you guys and get into it as much as I can and show as much interest in it as I can.
Yeah.
He's like,
although that's not active, though. Wouldn't you want him to do something active?
I just wanted to use an extreme example with them. I've set the tone of, I don't really care what you do.
Archery.
I don't care what it is you do, but whatever you find interest in, I will find interest in.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay, I just checking. Little turd.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he sees a lot of kids that he's around, parents are very forceful with what they have to do and, just grinding the shit out of them. And I think he was just kind of testing the waters to see where I was in that realm.
You've been to enough club events and regular season events to see crazy parents.
Oh, 100%.
Right? I mean, I've seen crazy parents. I know for a fact you've seen crazy parents. Yeah. And it's wild how these parents, are they living vicariously? Is that what you think?
I don't know.
It's either that or, my husband's always said they were never an athlete, the ones that go crazy.
Yeah.
They kind of go so hard.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just witnessed a couple of a very prominent high school here in the area. A couple of their football coaches were coaching the team my son was playing against. And I watched them lose their shit and want to fight and get fined and suspended over a 10U football game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's ego of people. I want my kid to be the best.
Sure.
That's what it felt like in that environment that we were in. Was their egos were hurt because they got outcoached by a group of guys that aren't, top of the line high school coaches.
Was this your most recent game?
Yeah.
Okay. You almost got in a fight too. That one.
Yeah, with a guy 3 times my size.
My money's still on you because you're quick.
That guy is so big, he gets a paw on me, my life is over.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. You said he kind of had a hitch in his giddy up, so maybe you would have.
I don't care. He was. The guy's that big. And you're as small as I am. And when you're the biggest guy out there and I'm the smallest guy out there, I got no chance.
Okay. All right.
No, I was not trying to.
Yeah. You didn't want to get scrappy.
Hell no. That guy would have. As soon as he got a paw on me or his weight on me, it would have been horrible.
Yeah. But I think that, back to that point of how parents get so. There are certain parents, though, that I see do the antithesis of that. They are the ones that are sitting far away from everyone. They are the ones that don't say a thing. They are the ones they're expressionless. Yeah. And I kind of wish I could be more like that in some ways. But, my husband has, because he was an athlete too, he doesn't want to sit with everybody. And I've talked about this before. He wants to be out, focused, not having to have the conversation. I mean, he will sit with me sometimes, but there's actually Quinn has played with a couple players that one of the moms was just she was like my husband. And I thought, gosh, does she hate me? But no, she's like, no, I just have to, she told me, I just want to be sitting back. And, it was fascinating to watch her not even flinch, good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah.
Never flinched.
I think that I learned that from your husband with my daughter with volleyball.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how often they'll look at you when they make a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that was a very valuable thing your husband taught me.
It's
like, because I see a lot of parents like throw their heads back in disgust. I don't want one mistake and then my reaction to the mistake then cascade a bunch of mistakes.
No.
So I think that was a very valuable tool I learned from your husband with my daughter. Because the more I paid attention to her, the more I'm shocked like a mistake would happen and she would peak.
Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah,
it is wild to see that.
Yeah,
but I think. As Quinn has always said to me and to her dad, that when we mess up, we know.
Oh, 100%.
We don't need the coach is going to probably say something or not, and the parent saying something or not. We already know. Yeah. We don't need that to be, ground into our head at that point. We get it.
Yeah.
And, that, like Tony from last week was talking about the mindset that our negative passenger, or whatever you want to call it, right? Our negative best friend is, who I named mine, by the way. Mine is Gladys.
I love that.
Do you like that, Gladys? Yeah. That's right there all the time, too. Oh, you're worthless. You just screwed up, right? Yeah. So we should be a safe space. Yeah. And I don't know if you've experienced this. I'm sure you have. But if Isabel had a match that didn't go so well and you're driving her home, is it silence before you let her speak first? That's what we've learned.
That's the best way to handle it.
Yes.
When she's ready to talk about it, she will.
Yes.
If I try to interject and bring up conversation, it's not going to go well.
No. And I know that's made Quinn feel better to just let him kind of marinate in it.
Yeah.
And if and when they want to talk about it, right? You know, they may not want to.
Yeah, there have been times where there's been no conversations, other times there has.
Yeah.
But I just learned that I can't lead that.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
So true. So I think that's a part of the kids being resilient too, is seeing, okay, my parents are still here. They're not upset. They're not, because I think there are some parents that probably don't do that and might ride the kids.
Yeah.
And then the kids are playing from a place of fear.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think that plays into what Tony was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, big fears we have are being excluded from the tribe.
Absolutely.
I've had some deep conversations with my son because he had a lot of fear. I mean, to the point where last year, like throwing up before games, like, what are you so nervous about? And he was afraid to embarrass himself and let everyone else down.
Yeah.
So he was carrying all that. And so when he would make a mistake, it would just cause him to crumble because he thought he would just let everyone down. He had so much pressure on himself, and he couldn't even tell me where it came from.
Right.
There was no one saying anything to him. That was just what the story he had told himself, is that he has to be perfect. If he makes a mistake, he lets everyone down, or he embarrasses himself. And that's a hard thing to carry. And you know, he's actually worked with Tony.
Yeah.
And Tony has really, the stuff Tony's done with it has been very simplistic, but incredibly powerful in regards to the difference in the mental state I see with my son. He's still kind of the same person, and I've had to learn a little bit because I can't tell if he's nervous. Because last year when he would get nervous, his solution was to hold himself back. He would downregulate his performance, and I could see that.
Let me play it safe.
He would play it safe, and just this last game, I thought I saw it in him. I'm like, "Are you good?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Dad, I'm good."
Oh.
I was like, "Okay," because it doesn't look like it. He's like, "This is just who I am, but I'm good." And he went out and, I mean,
that's great.
Played it. I'm like, "Wow, okay." So, you know, he had done all the things before the game. You know, he has his pre-game rituals that he does that Tony taught him.
Love it.
And he was good. I was like, "Wow, okay." Like, so it looked the same.
Yeah.
But he was just in a quiet, confident, ready to roll state.
Yeah.
Where the old him, it looked the same, but it was him freaking out in his head. Because I asked him, I'm like, "What's your head saying to you?" He's like, "I'm good." All he said was, "I'm good, Dad." And
it said with confidence.
With confidence.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay,
awesome.
I'm going to believe you." And he was right.
Yeah.
But it looked the same. It was just, prior was this quiet, calm, retracting state. Now it's just this quiet, calm, confident state.
Good.
Yeah.
Definitely a step in the right direction.
Well, and him having the tool when he makes a mistake was the greatest gift Tony gave my son. To make a mistake and to realize that it worked right away was awesome.
Recovering for that.
I think he now has that confidence of like, hey, I make a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. He always logically got that, but emotionally he couldn't accept it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, I logically believe everyone makes mistakes. Now I have a strategy when I make a mistake to bring myself back. And it's cool. He, you know, every time I watch it, and he even brought home this paper that he wrote about, you know, when things go bad, how do you handle it? And he laid out his process.
I love it.
Of how you know, bring yourself back. So I think that's been a great gift in regards to resilience for my son.
Yeah.
Is that I don't have to yell at him. I don't have to, you know, anything. He's going to be hard enough on himself.
Sure.
And that little reset, that failure reset Tony teaches, I wish, it sounds so simple and so silly, is how people tell me. Like when I bring it up, like that's silly. I'm like, but it works.
Yeah.
Like the brain is pretty archaic and it's pretty primal. And silly, basic, easy things are what it needs in those high-stressed states.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not some elaborate, I mean, it needs to be simple.
12-step process, right? Yeah.
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 And what I've learned after working with Tony for so long when it comes to building like mental resilience is it's not the rah, get in their face, you know, the pregame speech. That's motivation for the moment. But what skills do these kids have in the heat of battle when things aren't going well? When there's a lot of screaming and yelling going on,
right?
Like, how do you keep that kid locked in it's really simple, basic, silly sounding things that keep them engaged.
Yeah. I think that I wish I had learned this a lot earlier.
Oh yeah.
Would you say that you learned this concept of, we've got a negative voice and how to kind of reframe that negative voice? With Tony, is that your
No, it was Adam. I had him on the show before you started. So he was kind of my psychologist, life coach, helping me kind of come out of all that stuff.
I remember that. The gnat.
He talked about the gnat. Yeah, so he was the first one.
Put a name to it
and he put a name to it. He explained how its role is protection.
Sure.
And he explained all of that.
Yeah.
And if you go back to one of the early episodes when I had him on, it's really, really good.
Yeah, I remember that one.
When I learned that from him years ago, that was the first time that it had ever been presented to me that way. It gave reasoning to the inner voice. It made sense.
Right.
And I learned how to start controlling it.
Yeah. What I think is fascinating is what Tony said last week about, was it 80, 90, what was the number, percent of the thoughts we have
80%,
are negative.
Yeah.
That is so mind-blowing when you think about that in those terms. So you think about, we're adults. We've been through life for a good period of time.
Yeah.
Think about these little people, right? That, your 10-year-old son or, your daughter or, my kids. And there's so much, and we've talked about this a million times, but there's so much more to contend with. Those negative thoughts must be even more for these kids. So how do they learn to kind of deal with, oh gosh, I'm seeing this on social media and this person's life is perfect, or, whatever's happening, and plus factor in living in the area we live in, right, which is a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I think I always say to my son, God, you wish you could have grown up in the 80s. He's like, I wish I could have grown up in the 80s. Yeah. You would have loved it, go analog. But you don't, it's just, and maybe 50 years from now, people are going to say, I wish we'd grown up in the.
I think I think it is. It is a very different realm.
Right.
But I think one of the most powerful things parents can do is talk to their kids about that inner voice.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize everyone has it.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So I think one of the first conversations parents need to have is to, hey, you recognize that you have an inner voice, right? Do you hear that? Mm-hmm. Like, everyone has that?
Yeah.
And that right there is like, oh,
yeah,
something's not wrong with me.
No.
Because no one talks about that.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah. I remember the first time I talked to my kids about that. They're like, you have that too? Like, yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
And one of the things I've done is told them like the struggles that I have with my inner voice. I've shared that with them so that they know everyone has that.
Yes, yes.
Because when you start looking at the outside world, it looks like no one has that.
You're right. You're right.
It looks like everyone has it together. Social media makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
And so the greatest dialogue I had, and Adam, I thank Adam for this because he's like, have you ever talked to your kids about this? I'm like, no. He's like, yeah, should.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And like that was huge. And then when they heard that, they're like, I remember my son's like, you have that too?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, buddy, we all do.
Yeah.
What?
Really? That's mind-blowing when you say it that way, right?
Yeah, because it feels weird. Because it's very negative.
And it's loud.
And no one else is talking about it.
Sure.
And so it opened up a lot more dialogue. And I did it obviously much earlier with my son than my daughter. Yeah. And he's more open to talk about it than she is.
Yeah, yeah.
So she hadn't she kind of built the protective mechanisms around it to try to compensate for it. He hadn't really done that yet.
Yeah. Well, it's funny the stories that it says, right?
Yeah.
That we get so attached to.
Yeah, and it's typically one common thing.
Do you think?
Yeah, when you start studying and learn about it from people, like it's like my common theme is you're not enough. That's my common theme.
And that's very general and big.
Well, it's very general and big, but every situation,
that's what I'm saying.
I turn it into a scenario of that's because I'm not good enough. That happened because I'm not good enough.
Yes.
Well, of course, you're not good enough. So of course you stood out. You tried to stand out there, and it didn't go well.
Right.
You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had never thought of it the way he said about, well, it's because it's protecting us.
Yeah.
That softens it for me somehow a little bit. It makes me not so angry at that voice. It makes me say, oh, you're trying. Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. See your way out now.
Yeah. I'm going to go about it this way. Yeah. I understand why you're saying that to me. And I appreciate you and I thank you for trying to protect me.
Yes. Yes.
But today I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to attempt this.
Right.
And if it doesn't work out, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. And I think showing our kids that we are not afraid to make mistakes is vital.
Yeah.
Right? Because things aren't always going to go well for us either.
Yeah.
Even though we're grown-ass adults.
Yeah.
They still, we still screw up a lot.
Yeah.
And
I think when kids, if you want to grow resilience in anyone, you can't come at them as I'm the guru. I have all the answers.
No.
You have to, I think, this is my personal take, is you have to share with them your struggles.
Yep.
Show them that you're just as vulnerable as they are.
Amen.
And then start teaching them tools that you use that they can use, or find people like Tony.
Sure.
I'm a really big fan of exposing my kids to as many coaches as possible.
I agree.
So that I'm not the one trying to shove all the answers down their throat. I've noticed they're very more open to meet with a coach and have a conversation with a coach versus having that conversation with dad.
That makes sense because you're too close.
I'm too close. You know, my opinions of them matter. Like, you know.
And they also know this guy loves me no matter what.
Yeah.
So, you know, the more neutral person, I can see that being a little more.
Well, and they don't want to disappoint their parents.
Of course not. Yeah.
My son got in trouble at school the other day for his stupidest thing
you
ever.
were saying.
And he was afraid that I was going to be angry.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, did you think you did something wrong? He goes, well, no. I said, well, then why did you think I was going to be angry? He goes, I don't know. I just figured both you and mom would be. I'm like, well, why?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, because I just, the principal came and talked to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, so why do you think I would take the principal side over your side?
Yeah.
When I see how you live life, you never lie to me. You're always trying to make the right decision.
Yeah.
You're very just. You care about people. I said, I'm going to tell you right now, because of who you've proven to me you are, I'm always going to take your side, and then they're going to have to convince me otherwise.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. I was like, I was just disappointed that the situation that unraveled. I'm like, he did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
He goes, well, I know I did nothing wrong.
Good. Well,
yeah,
moving on, right?
Yeah, so we're moving on. But like, I want you to understand that, like, if you know you did nothing wrong and you tell me you did nothing wrong, I'm going to back you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lie to me and they show me otherwise, like, then we got a bigger problem. But as long as you don't lie to me, like, I think we're going to be good.
We're good,
I'm going to take your side, and they're going to have to prove to me that, that you are at fault.
Yeah.
And I think that gives him confidence, in the things he's doing. And I hope that helps with resilience on his side.
I would think.
Yeah.
Who do you think is more challenging to parent, a male or female? Since you have both, and so do I. It's different.
It's very
in every scenario.
Yeah. And I feel like my role is different with them.
Of course.
Since the get-go.
Yeah.
Like, my that's my little girl.
Sure.
And my job is to protect her. So I've always felt like that with her. And then my son is like, oh my God, I got to turn this little boy into a man.
Amen. I love that.
And so what is that? And so I feel like
what does that look like?
Very, very different. And I struggle. Like, is that fair, not fair? I don't know, but that's just like innately how I've always felt from day one.
I like that. Well, when I was pregnant with my daughter, since she was second, I remember my mother-in-law saying to me, oh boy, my mother-in-law who has 2 sons only, oh boy, you're going to be in for it, having a girl. And I remember thinking, huh? And she said, yeah, just you wait. And I said, and she gets about 14. And I thought to myself, isn't that it? Because she said, his sons always love their mother. But the interesting thing is I've had, kind of peaks and valleys with both of my kids.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, oh, no, my son and I have been golden the whole time, and my daughter and I fought. And if anything, maybe Quinn and I have had less of it. I don't know, but I think it's been, have you experienced that? Or you haven't had any, you're good and you haven't had any headbutting?
Had any major headbutting?
Oh, that's good.
I've seen my daughter and her mom and Maria have it more than we have. I've also seen that Isabel will go to her with more personal things.
Well, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
her biology is the same, so yeah.
Yeah, and I respect that, and I don't ask about it.
Right. I think that's the same for Quinn too.
Yeah,
there's certain things.
So they have a deeper, more private relationship. Sure. Than Isabel and I have,
which you probably have with Gavin though.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I know he comes to me. He still goes to his mom too.
Yeah.
He kind of hasn't, like, I think as he starts to hit puberty and get more in that realm,
it'll probably be you.
It'll probably come more towards me.
Sure.
I haven't had any major rubs with my kids yet.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Especially since you have a teenager.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky with her, and I know
awesome.
that.
Yeah.
And I voice that to her.
Oh, good.
So I give her a lot of slack. Like, the silly example, she texts me, she's like, Dad, I'm so sorry, but could I borrow a little bit of money for this? I'm like, yes, but why do you apologize before you ask me for money? Well, I feel like I ask for a lot of money and I just feel bad. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I said, but like, you want to know what costs a lot of money? Is if you get into
Therapy.
trouble. Yeah. If like you get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got to go figure out how to bail you out.
Sure.
That costs a lot of money. I said, so I'll make you a deal. You stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I'll say yes to anything you need.
Oh.
Like if you need $20 for, Starbucks or whatever, $50 for your Halloween costume, it's going to be a yes.
Yeah.
I said, because the total outcome of that is much cheaper than if you're out getting drunk and getting in trouble and getting arrested.
For sure.
Or any of the, like, there's all kinds of realms you could roll into.
Yep.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
I said, you go into that, now you're going to be apologizing a lot.
Yeah. Paying for the attorney or whatever.
Yeah. So she's very driven. She's very focused. Like, I don't have to get on her to get her grades up. I don't have to, like, any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But I feel like I'm her protector. I'm her, like, her. I just feel like that's always been my role.
Sure.
Where my son, it's like, I got to turn this little guy into a man. And what does that look like? And what does that process look like?
Right.
So,
but I think so much of this has to do with the fact that you've done so much work on yourself that it makes it easier for you to relate with these kids and see what's important as far as raising them.
I got super lucky. My dad was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he actually had a lot of these conversations with me about the difference between raising a daughter and sons and what that looks like and what his experiences were like and what he wishes he would have done different.
Right.
And so I got a lot of good education from him, a lot of great modeling from him. Like there's nothing about my childhood that I would change.
Oh, you are lucky.
I'm super lucky and I know it. You know, I'm super lucky.
Yeah.
My parents remained married their whole life.
Yeah.
My dad passed away. My mom didn't start dating anyone for years. Like, so I got to witness and experience. There's always stuff.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So I mean, it wasn't. I remember having this conversation with one of my aunts. She's like, "You recognize how dysfunctional your family was, right?" I'm like, at first I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, no, I had it in my head like we were perfect, and I started thinking about it, I'm like, "Oh wow, yeah, there is a lot of dysfunction."
Family doesn't?
Yeah. So like, I want to like, I'm very aware that there was family dysfunction.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel very fortunate and lucky because I see what other people went through. I got lucky. Yeah. I got very lucky.
And it's fascinating how we carry on to the next generation. What we either carry that with us or we stop that pattern and restart. And I'd like to say stop some patterns and restart it.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for that.
My dad did that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, my dad grew up in the most dysfunctional, abusive world you can imagine.
So he was like, nope, it's a no for me.
Abusive.
Yeah.
Like he determined when he had children, it was going to be different.
Yeah.
So I thank him for that because he could have very easily carried that.
Sure. Much easier.
Would have been much easier. Like, I remember he never laid a hand on me. That was his thing. Like, I will never lay a hand on my child. Now, his penalties sucked. I remember there were times. I remember one time he came home. I had a belt, I had a spoon. I'm like, Dad, just beat me, please. And he's like, no, I'll never lay a hand on you. I'm like, but please. Like, I would just rather you beat me than what you're going to make me do.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. It sounds stupid as I say that. But I remember, like, begging him, just beat me, please. It'd be so much easier than what you're going to make me do.
Right.
But, he determined, like, okay, my kids are not going to go through what I went through. I'm going to change that. And so I thank him every day for that because I don't know what that's like. Right. And so my children are experiencing life as I experienced it with my dad. Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So.
And even just that your parents were still married, that's huge. Yeah. Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because mine weren't, you know. And
it's a very rare thing.
It really is.
You know what's crazy wild? Like all the guys I grew up with, except for one, and he wasn't even that tight with all of us. Like all my tightest friends, parents stayed together until the death of one or are still together.
Wow.
I had this crazy, unreal childhood, I guess.
Yeah, you did.
Look at it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, all of my close friends, I can't think of one whose parents are no longer together.
Wow.
Unless,
parent passed.
And then they moved on.
Yeah.
Which, my mom's now dating a great guy and super happy for her.
Good.
And so some of my other friends, like moms ended up marrying another great guy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's pretty wild when I think about it because that is not the norm. That was kind of a hard transition for me in life as I was dating and meeting people like that just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's so rare to meet someone whose parents are still together or so it's very different.
Right. And that's a whole nother bag of worms, right? Trying to date in that world and seeing how, okay, so firstly, it's obviously if they've got kids, then there's an ex-partner and, so that comes with so many different scenarios too. How are they parenting their children is probably, if it's, so there's so much to that as well.
It's very weird. Yeah. It's very different. I mean, throughout all life dating, it's like, you just don't see a lot of people out there who come from a family that is not broken or, has like multi, like you just talked about. Mom married some other guy. Like there's all these things that I never saw or dealt with that were so different to me. And I understand them a lot better now. Yeah. And, it helps me understand situations better. But, it's crazy.
But we bring so much of that with us. And then it sounds like your situation is so great because you had such great modeling. Yeah. And in my situation, I look at things and think, gosh, my parents, separated and divorced. I think it must have been when I was 10. My brother was 8 years younger than me, so he was very young. And my mom got remarried super fast. And what was interesting is my bio dad was out of the house for a month before I asked where he was. So he was not ever around.
Oh, wow.
And my mom, I remember when my mom told me that, I said, really? She said, yeah, it took you a month to ask where your dad was. So, I mean, that just says so much. Yeah. And he passed years ago and I wasn't very close with him. I really wasn't. And, my stepdad I was much closer with because I kind of say he raised me, even though they say that first 5 years of a child's life is really the formative stuff. So you learn all the bad stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you had that it really is a gift, Brad.
Yeah, and I recognize that. I don't take it for granted. And so that's why, like, my first commitment is to my children.
Which is great.
I know that, I might be missing out on going to the bars with buddies and trip buddies, but, like, I'll never regret.
You don't get it back.
I don't get that back, and I'll never regret choosing my children over all these, other experiences that I could be doing. Because I know you've had
issues with that. Some people not liking that.
Yeah. So.
Oh well.
Yeah. It just is what it is.
Now, how was Maria's family relationship?
Tougher childhood.
Okay.
But as they got older, it got a lot better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she was able to navigate away from,
and she, together we have a great, like... Co-parenting,
yes.
Understanding how we're raising our children together, and she's the most phenomenal mom I could ever ask for my children.
Great. See, that's so great.
It's the same mindset of, like, my kids come first.
That's so awesome.
So just like we've always had that together of, like...
That's how it's going to be.
This is how it's going to be. Our children come first.
Yep.
We sacrifice other things for our children.
Sure.
And so, like,
kids know that.
Yeah.
Kids know that.
Yeah.
They can see if they're taking a back seat to who mommy's dating or whatever. Yeah, they know that.
Yeah. No, so she's phenomenal. Like, I couldn't ask for a better mother for my children. And they love her so much, and they're so comfortable with her and so attached to her. Yeah. And she's phenomenal.
And I have to say, seeing two people co-parent is no small feat.
Yeah.
It is no small, because I'm sure you've seen the antithesis of that.
Oh, everybody has.
Yeah. It's not pretty.
Yeah, like I said, she's phenomenal as a mom. Always has been.
That's great.
Like, never, like, yeah. And I feel great I'm so lucky that my children have her for a mom.
And I've had friends that were single that have kids that are, after they've had children, that have said, I would never date someone that didn't have kids because they don't understand.
I could see that.
Yeah, they don't understand what it's like to put that person, the little person in front of their
I could totally see that.
Yeah. I'm sure it is difficult because they haven't had that experience and understand. Yeah. I don't know.
Another thing I think has been super important for building resilience, in my experience, is the coaches and the mentors that you put your kids around. Mm-hmm. I feel pretty lucky I use my son again, for example. Actually, both my kids. My daughter plays club volleyball for a woman that I trained when she was in college.
So cute. I love it.
Yeah. And she's a badass.
Yeah.
And she's hard as shit on these girls.
Yeah.
But what I love about her is I knew I could trust her. I knew that she always has the best intentions. Made my little girl tougher than shit. Like, I love that about my daughter.
Yeah.
Is that you can scream, yell, holler at my daughter, and she will listen to you, and she'll pick out, she hears your words, not your tone.
Oh, okay.
And so she can take that and recover from it and move on. And I thank Alex for that a lot. Because she is hard as shit on these girls.
Now, did you choose that volleyball club based upon her being the coach? Or did that just, you did? Okay.
I did. Well, so my daughter first started another club.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And it was the most horrific experience I've ever seen. It was bad. There's a lot of favoritism played.
Yeah.
I'll give you one example. My daughter was a setter on this team, and there's another girl that was a setter, and it was very obvious that for whatever reason, the other girl got all the privilege. She, at one point, supposedly got hit by a car on her bike and couldn't practice for a month. So my daughter, every rep, every practice, busting her ass, was told when the next tournament came, she was starting.
Sure.
Tournament day comes, girl says, I'm good. I just got released to play.
Oh.
Guess who started?
And hadn't been at practice.
Hadn't been at practice for a month.
Okay. Wow.
And guess who started and played a majority of the tournament?
Wow.
I'll never forget that day because I looked at the side and my daughter was just bawling. I'm like, what the hell? Bet. And she's like, I said, what's wrong? She goes, and she told me what happened. She goes, Dad, you know that if that would have been me, I wouldn't have played at all today.
Right.
And so like that favoritism, and this coach was just an asshole to her to the point where like, it wasn't constructive criticism. It was just straight degradation. And I was like, honey, I'm talking to him. And she wouldn't let me talk to him. But it was like, this is borderline abusive.
Yeah.
And so when that season was over, Alex had reached out to me online like, hey, I see your daughter's playing. Would love to come. So I told her like, let's go try out there.
Yeah.
And it's just been the greatest shift ever. So to see someone that's hard on them but cares about them versus just being an asshole.
Right.
And which I don't even understand why. Like I don't know why I had to pay so much money for a man to like destroy my child. That was hard for me to watch.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely different coaching girls versus boys.
Oh, 100%.
And how you approach it. And that's one thing I've noticed from watching both of my children get coached.
Yeah.
That, things you can get away with boys probably don't work as well with the girls.
Yeah.
We have, they bleed monthly.
Yeah.
A lot of these girls, right?
Yeah.
And with that becomes a whole bunch of emotions.
Yeah.
And not to say that you have to handle them with kid gloves, but you have to do things slightly differently.
Yeah. And I want my kids to experience tough love and to be pushed and to be held to a high standard.
Yes.
And they're getting that. My son's football program I just love because it's a group of guys, they get it. There's no, like all their sons play on the team. There's no favoritism. Yeah. They're just as hard as their kid. Probably harder on their kids and everyone else.
Yeah.
But they have set a standard. So my son's team right now is 8-0.
Oh.
Yeah. And practice starts off like this. The boys have to line their bags up in order.
Like alphabetical?
No. Just nice and neatly in order.
Yeah.
They have to show up with the right stuff on. And what they're taught is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Yes.
That discipline and success starts with how you line your bags up and how you show up at practice.
Love it.
It's all in the details. And so everything, like all these teams, all these people
just
watching
throw
us,
their crap everywhere.
we're like, God, you guys are so well coached. You're so this. Like, no, these boys just understand that success is in the details. And they're held to a very high standard with the details. Yep. And they're like, and he always says, winning and losing starts right there with your bags.
It makes sense.
It's just the truth.
It makes sense. Yeah.
He's like, if I can't trust you to line your bags up right, how can I trust you in the game to do this? Or if you can't show up to practice in the right gear, how can I trust you in the game when the game's on the line to make the right decision and do the right thing?
Yep.
And so these boys, they're always the smallest team out there. Like, I mean, they're great athletes, but they're always small. Like everyone, always thinks they're going to crush them. But because they're just this fine-tuned machine because of the detail. I mean, what coach teaches the kids? Your success starts with how you show up and how you line your bags up at practice. I used to do that with John Wooden.
Oh, really?
Practice every year would start with, this is how you put your socks on. This is how you put your shoes on. Okay. He had this super high standard of detail, and they just dominated in basketball. Yeah. So I love that my kid is learning that. They also learn periodically how to survive tough times. Yeah. And that's done in practice. it's like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that they get pushed and to create this realm of, okay, giving up's not an option.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently I taught them that I learned from William. He was a Navy SEAL that I had on the show.
Right. Mm-hmm. I
learned this from him at an event with him in Wyoming. You have two choices. First choice is you can quit or you can finish.
Yeah.
That's choice number one.
Mm-hmm.
So give up or finish.
Yep.
And then he said there's a second choice that if you choose to finish, your second choice is I can either finish average or I can finish awesome. Mm-hmm. And so now the boys are learning that realm of, okay, like we see that you're not going to give up, but are you going to finish mediocre or are you going to finish awesome? So now we're challenging them like, okay, what's that look like? You know? So at least, I mean, they're only 10, but they're learning really cool things. And Tony came out and spoke. Actually, Tony came out and spoke to my daughter's club volleyball team, came out and spoke to my son's football team.
Yeah.
So at 10 years old, they're learning some really cool shit. And I think that is key to resilience building.
Definitely.
Is learning these experiential lessons on things. You know, like they talk about people who make their bed first thing in the morning every morning.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, are dramatically more successful in life.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's in the details. Success is in the details.
Quinn's coach makes all of the players, no matter what it is, you are showing up 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
So you're late if you're not 15 minutes early.
Yeah, I think that's great.
And that is so drilled into her head that when she's home and we're working out together, she cannot stand it if I'm rolling up at the time that we're supposed to be there. True. Yeah. Mom, we gotta go. We gotta go. I'm like, we don't have to be there for 10 minutes. Doesn't matter. You know, she'll want to warm up. She'll want to do whatever. So I think that's great because when is that ever a problem? Being 15 minutes early somewhere. Yeah. He's giving you a buffer.
That's my favorite thing about sports is it teaches people a lot about life.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And that things aren't always going to go your way and how are you going to handle it? And I sometimes am sad that I didn't get that experience. People, you know, always, well, what kind of athlete were you? I wasn't, never really was. Really?
It surprises me because you move so well. You would have been a great athlete if you But I don't want people to think like, if I didn't think my son was going to be an athlete. Yeah. I thought he wanted to be a paleontologist and dinosaurs and art and like, I had just succumbed like, okay, great. We were going to go explore that world. Yeah. So I don't think like sports are the end all be all. Yeah. Like, and I didn't force my kids into sports.
Like you said, teach really good life lessons.
Yes. That's why I like it. And I'm excited that they do it.
I think if my parents had been active like that, then I would have maybe had a little, I mean, I did AYSO soccer. Does that count? Yeah. Not really. I got the orange slices. And, you know, I ran track, if you could call it that, in junior high. And I did drill team, you know, for a minute. But I tried out for the cheerleading team and did not make it, which is always why I say that I teach classes. I'll show you guys. I'm gonna talk to everybody and scream loud and cheer whether or not you like it. I never thought I liked it. I feel like if I were gonna play a sport, I think I would have been a single, like tennis or something, that would have been me against, as opposed to team. I don't know why. Yeah. But, you know, so it would have, I don't know. It's interesting that, and my husband was such an athlete that's where our kids got it for sure. But yeah, I would be curious if I could go back and do it all over again because, you know, ballet from 5 to 11 doesn't really count. Yeah. So I don't know.
That still requires a lot of discipline.
Yeah, but I think it's different when you start getting into it. It's so good for kids to, and I've heard this said before that, you know, keeping them off the screens or like you said, you and I would be outside until the street lights came on. We're drinking out of the hose. Yeah. You know, so it's a totally different thing. There's not even, and kids nowadays are not pedaling a bicycle. They're on an e-bike. Yeah. You know, so kids are not active unless they've got that sports piece.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, I didn't shove sports down my kids' throats. Yeah. I let them choose. Right. I remember during COVID, I drew so many dinosaurs over the period of COVID.
I love it.
Every day for hours, Gavin and I would just draw dinosaurs and play dinosaurs.
Yeah.
So like, I let my kids choose and supported what they wanted to do. Yeah. But I'm thrilled with the experiences they're getting. Yeah. And I also see like my kids are very lucky with the experiences they're getting because I always watch other coaches, other teams. Yeah. They're very lucky with the experiences they're getting. Mm-hmm. I mean, I vetted everyone. Like I spent a lot of time like making sure that my kids are going to go into an environment of people I respected, and we always met them. 8U, I remember Coach Basilio. You know Coach B? Yeah. The first day we walked on the field for Gavin to try out for the Trojans team, we walked up, introduced myself. Coach B introduced myself to him. He looked at Gavin and went to shake his hand. And Gavin shook his hand and goes, "No, son, you look me in the eyes when you shake my hand." I was like, "We're done. I don't even care. Like, we're done. We're in. What are we going to do?"
Hired. Where do I sign? Where do I sign?
I love that because I'm like, okay, this is about more than sport.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
This is going to be an environment where my kids are going to grow in.
Yes.
My son's going to grow into a better person. I was like, done. We're done.
That discipline.
If my kid can make this team, we're in.
Yeah. But I think that the kids watch everything we do.
Yes.
Right? And whether we realize it or not, they are taking it all in. And sometimes they want to do the opposite. But what I've noticed and what I've learned is if you're not trying to shove something down their throat and you're just living by example, a lot of times they will take your lead.
I believe that.
It's when you say, "Oh, you need to do it the way I'm doing it," that they may go, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Because I'm autonomous. So
my kids will give me a lot of shit about my eating habits.
Well, I can see that.
Really, Dad? You coach people on nutrition and you're going to eat that?
Well, they do that to my husband too. Does Raquel know you eat that? I'm like, I pick my battles.
Yeah.
But do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah. I try.
You get a little leeway.
That's probably a good way to go about it.
Yeah, you get a little leeway, Brad, because you're still not at your balance point yet.
Yeah. I mean, 67% of the time I eat really well.
Okay.
But I enjoy my snacks and I enjoy my treats.
Yeah.
They know that.
If life was your perfect balance of work and play and everything was, copacetic, would you still have those snacks, do you think?
Probably not as much.
Okay.
I think a lot of it is driven by my level of stress.
Got it.
And lack of window times to eat.
Sure.
So I think a lot of times it's just
grab what I can grab.
Grab what I can grab, or I've been going for 10 hours without eating, and I just
need something.
And I would just rather have a Snickers bar than a salad at that point.
You are that guy on that ad. I love it.
Yeah.
But your kids make good, healthy choices most of the time?
Yeah, I'm super proud of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They talk a lot about it. They focus a lot more on it than I do.
Yeah.
Because they see how it affects their ability to perform.
Right.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong, like they love their cheat meals, but it's always like...
But you don't call it that, do you?
They do.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They just call it a cheat meal.
Okay.
Because it's like...
We're going to Chick-fil-A or whatever.
Yeah, they always want Chick-fil-A or Cane's.
Cane's. Yeah. That's what's opening on Newport Boulevard. Did you know that?
Oh, really? Yeah. I cannot stand that stuff.
It's kind of nasty.
Yeah, Maria and I are like, really? Like,
that's what you
want?
want?
That's what you guys are like, ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but we told him, like, Gavin, it's always the football game day. After that, he can have whatever we want after the game. Sure. Isabel, she just, chooses according to what her schedule is like.
Yeah.
There's one night, there's no rules. We can't say anything.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's always Cane's. Is it Zach's Hot Chicken or something like that? I don't know what it is.
Oh.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always a chicken involved.
Always a chicken involved. Like, you guys.
We don't go for the burger ever?
Yeah.
No In-N-Out?
No. I mean, if Maria and I emphasize it, like, we'll push it and we'll get in and out.
Yeah.
But typically it's like they're getting that and we're getting something else.
Yeah. You're like, I don't need that right now.
Yeah, no. I just can't stand how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
So I have my boundaries.
Good for you.
I will eat poorly to a point.
Okay. But when it affects how you're feeling.
Oh, man. If I eat Cane's or Chick-fil-A, I'm just ruined for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can go have In-N-Out and feel great.
Yeah.
So, like, typically, if I'm going to go have a bad meal, it's going to be In-N-Out.
Yeah. You're going to wait in that
line.
line.
My falsehoods are my treats, my Snickers bars, my candy, that's where I struggle. Pastries. Yeah. It's not so much like crappy food, it's the pastries and the candy bars.
What kind of pastry?
Anything. I love pastries.
Give me an example. What's your favorite?
Like lemon bars are epic.
Okay, I don't think of that as a pastry. I think of that as a dessert. When I think like croissant.
Oh, okay. So when I say, I'm saying desserts.
Oh, got it.
They're not
okay.
pastries, but desserts.
Okay. I don't know if you meant like the flaky croissant.
And it's not like, I'm not like an ice cream guy, but I'm like lemon bars. I love peanut butter Snickers. I love Hostess stuff.
Now, you love Hostess over like going to a bakery that has...
Well, no, but it's harder to find a bakery.
That's true. Okay.
If give me to a bakery, I'm going to have a great time there. But if I'm busy and I don't have a lot of time, I'm going to go grab Hostess. Yeah.
And I'm surprised that doesn't make you feel crappy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't. Yeah.
I used to like the ding dongs.
Oh yeah, those are great.
I would have a friend. I remember in every day she came to school with her lunch, and she got a ding dong in her lunch every day. My mom never. My mom was doing dark wheat bread before a lot of the parents. Everybody else has a white bread still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Casey Corrigan grew up, always had the healthiest lunches.
Who did?
Casey Corrigan. And we would make so much fun of him.
Wait. What grade was this?
Throughout all
school.
All of school. The kid.
Where is she today?
No, it's a guy.
Oh, it's a guy.
Yeah.
Where is he today?
Super lean, super healthy. I don't know where in the world he lives, but I wish that I could have had. Lunches? I mean, it was always like the carrots and the vegetable, really good stuff.
Yeah.
I wish with all my heart I could have grown up eating like that now. But we made so much fun of him back then. Yeah.
And he liked it? He ate it? He didn't
really
trade?
have a choice.
He didn't trade? Because
there was nobody wanted to trade for carrots. But yeah, he ate so healthy.
Okay. What was your lunch?
Hot lunch, whatever they served at
right.
school.
You go through the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Cafeteria lunches were so crappy.
They
at least
still
for
are.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. I always did the hot lunches.
Okay.
All right. In high school, I remember I got $2 a day.
Okay, and you could go off campus.
I could either make my own lunch and take it with me and save the $2, or you could get a great meal for $2 at Arctic Circle where I grew up.
What is Arctic Circle?
It was a hamburger joint.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I would always go there.
So you didn't save the money.
I never saved the money, no.
Okay. No. But I think that's a great ploy. I can remember having a clothing allowance when I was young.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, it started in 7th grade.
Oh, nice.
And I got $50. Did I get it here? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. But it was one of the, and this probably won't surprise you, but rather than kind of eking it out and buying a lot of things, I would go, one year or one time that I got it, I went to this place called Clothesline, and I bought these white satin Chemendifer, some of you all will remember that brand, jeans, white satin. And I was so excited. I spent pretty much the whole thing, I think. Maybe not, but close enough. They were too long. I hemmed them myself, and I was ironing them after I'd hemmed them, and I burned a hole through them.
No.
And it was so sad. But that just is, that's so me, that I wouldn't be like, oh, no, I'm going to take just this much and do that. No, I went full Monty and just, and then blew it and had to wait the next 3 months or 4, whatever it was, till I got my clothing allowance again. Yeah. That was a hard lesson. My mom still brings up the white satin jeans to this day. Very sad.
Heartbreak.
I know.
I feel so bad.
I know you do. Anyway, well, I think that you are doing a phenomenal job.
Oh, thank you.
You are.
As you guys. And,
thank you.
Always trying to learn more. It's a very important topic to me. I'm kind of excited we talked about it.
Yeah, same.
I know, I'm constantly trying to think, okay, where am I causing problems? What can I do better? Because I know no matter how great you do it, you're messing up somewhere. Screwing them up somewhere.
Well, you're saving for therapy. That's what I always say. But I'm honest with my kids. I say, I am doing things differently than, not in your case, obviously. But I'm doing some things differently than how they were done for me.
Yeah.
And I want to do that. And I know I'm not always going to be perfect. And I know I'm going to make mistakes. And this is just, you're learning on the job.
Yeah.
You are learning on the job.
Well, Maria made that choice.
Yeah.
Our kids are having a much different childhood than she had.
Yeah.
So she, my dad made that choice. Nope.
Yep.
So I have that with my experience. I'm very fortunate.
Yes.
That's what my kids get to experience.
Yeah. And now the likelihood that your kids are going forth and doing the same is so much higher. Yes. I mean, that's phenomenal. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's such a gift that we give to our kids, you know, and just that our kids know that. And I keep saying kids. My mother-in-law would be so bummed. They're not baby goats. They are children. That's what she used to say to me when you say kids. But just your kids know they are loved 100%. You know, and so do mine. Yeah. And I think that's such a crucial thing. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. That your parents, even if they get upset at you for certain things,
of course,
they know that they are supported and loved.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Yeah. It really is. So anyway, I think we're doing a few things okay.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, awesome. I think we should wrap it up.
Okay.
We've been chatting for a while.
Okay.
That's funny how that became a long one.
I know. All right. Well, thanks, Brad.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.